guys, this is part 2 of a tenor banjo lesson where we're discussing some different rolls and finger picking patterns. In part 1 we discussed some patterns that mainly involved just using the pick, but in this lesson we're going to discuss using your fingers. Guitar players call it hybrid picking, and that is using your pick and then a finger. But feel free to use just your fingers or finger picks like a banjo or this hybrid version, however you would like to do. I prefer to use my pick and my middle finger. To start with, let's just go over the basic roll, just the absolute basic roll. And that is, that's really all there is to it. And you just play it over and over again. That's C, A, G, D. C, A, G, D. The good news about it is with it being a tenor banjo, we can also do that in the other keys. Okay, the other is the pinch, which is just basically taking and pinching the C and D string, and then the G and the A string at the same time. Most of the time I just do this whenever someone's playing lead, or I use this as a bridge, or just something I throw in as a little bit extra, and not something I would play throughout the entire song. It just kind of mixes things up a bit just from doing this the entire song. You can mix it up. And finally we have a more complicated style that adds some variations to this that I got this from guitar players, but it is a mixture of different patterns, and you're combining two to make an entire pattern. So let me play it through and then we'll go over it. We'll break it down. Okay, one more time. You can just play the, let's just start with that, because you can actually play that independently instead of adding a second part to this. That is up to your personal preference and whatever works best with your genre that you want to play. I highly suggest that you get with other musicians before you start playing these patterns to try and figure out which sounds best and which works best. It's always good to talk to others and find out what sounds good, so you don't interfere with what the other musicians have planned, and make sure that everything sounds good and combines together. It is C, and then we're pinching, we're playing at the exact same time the G and A string. So it's C, G and A, C, A, C, D, G. One more time. C, and we're pinching the G string and the A string. We're hitting a single C note, and then a single C, the D string and the G string. C, double note, C, D, G. Now, it took me a very long time to get this on the guitar. It's something that, if you're not used to, takes a considerable amount of time to train your hands and your fingers to cooperate. But once you get this basic pattern down, finger picking becomes a little bit more natural. For the second part of this, hitting a double note again, which is the C and A string. So let's break it down a little bit more. There's the double note, and you're hitting the G and D string after the double note. Double note, G and D. Then for the second part, C, A, G. Combine it all together and we have if you need to, you can run this video back and listen to the lesson over again. And you can also adjust the speed using the controls there at the bottom of the video. I will be completely honest with you when I say that I actually use these most complicated rolls the least. They transfer fairly well from the guitar, but they don't sound as good with as many genres, or at least I've discovered, and I don't think that could completely change, and these be the rolls I use the most. But so far, I would say that the more simplistic rolls that I use just with the pick are the ones I use the most. Or this. So far, those are really the most used rolls that I have, and that's playing with a group that likes to play country rock type, maybe some traditional, maybe a little bit of blues, but a little bit of kind of borderline rockabilly country type songs, and of course bluegrass. I've actually found, playing with some other banjo players, that this really so far hasn't really caused any issues, and it actually has mixed well with some different songs that have included a regular 5-string banjo. But I hope these lessons were helpful in giving us a little bit more options with the tenor banjo, and maybe so we're not so limited as to just strumming chords, but also given some more to essentially some more to work with. So I hope this was helpful, and as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.